Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and thank you for such a great response on the last video, which was a top 10 Hot Toys figures in the collection countdown. Now in that video I did mention that I was quite keen to try another top 10, but this time not just Hot Toys figures, it could be anything that I've managed to collect over the years can make it into this particular top 10. Obviously it could be a Hot Toys figure, could be something like a Sideshow Collectibles Terminator Endo Skull bust, could be a life-size Myers, could be a custom Myers figure, could be a NECA figure, could be Sideshow Collectibles, could be Blitzway. We got Tyler Durden over there. So this is going to be interesting. At the time of me filming this quick little intro for you now, which I wanted to do while it's still semi-daylight outside, get a bit of natural light coming in the room, I honestly have no idea what is going to make it into this top 10 at the point of me filming this intro for you now. I haven't really narrowed down what's going to be in the list yet, but it should be interesting. And I hope you enjoy it as much as you enjoyed the Hot Toys one. There still will be Hot Toys figures in this top 10. There's bound to be. Like for instance, I couldn't include this Harley Quinn in the last top 10 because she's too kit bashed. She's not an official figure. You can't get this from Hot Toys. You need to build this together from different parts of different figures to make this. So she could technically make it into this top 10, and she might do. I don't know. There's only 10 spots. Maybe I should have done a top 15 or a top 20, but I guess it would just take too long. And I guess it's a bit more, just a bit more thrilling to watch when you know there's only 10 spaces and there's quite a lot of good stuff here. I only collect the things that I really love, and everything on these shelves, every one of them could be in the top 10. So it's going to be interesting just choosing, and I've got to make sure it doesn't turn into a Myers fest as well, because I love Myers, but I don't want, I don't want to overdo it when it comes to the Myers stuff. So I'm going to have to really choose carefully which one of these guys, if any, make it into the top 10. So I hope you enjoy it, and leave me your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of the content I'm pumping out. And follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and have yourselves a good time watching this clip. Alright guys, let's get started at number 10. Oh, before I do, it is worth mentioning, and for those of you that know the channel well, you know that figure right there, the Enter Bay Batman with a custom velvet cape, is my favorite figure, my absolute grail piece, and that would be number 1. So that wouldn't make for a very interesting top 10 when you already know what's going to take the top spot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to exclude him from this list. So you would know that if I was including him, he would be number 1. So that, like I said, it doesn't make for a very exciting top 10 for you to watch when you know what's already going to be in the first spot. So I'm going to take him out of the equation for no other reason that he is so awesome and I love that figure so much, he'd be number 1 every time. So just to keep things interesting, I'm taking the Beast out of this video, and something else could be number 1 just to keep things interesting for you guys, the viewers. Alright, let's get started at number 10. Number 10, we have the Sota Toys Now Playing series Dog Soldiers werewolf figure from my favorite horror movie out of all of them. It's got to be Dog Soldiers. I love werewolf films, and when this one came out, it really came out of nowhere for me, and suddenly I was watching the best werewolf movie I'd ever seen. I mean, the design of the werewolves themselves, the situation the film takes place in, everything, the setting, everything. The great cast, great script, and that really helps this movie because, werewolf movies, depending on how you feel about stuff like that, can be quite far-fetched to say the least, but Dog Soldiers really pulled it off, and there's some really tense moments in there. It's got quite a few funny moments as well. It's a perfect balance, really. Neil Marshall, who went on to direct films like The Descent and a whole bunch of other stuff, but me personally, my favorite film of his is also my favorite horror movie, Dog Soldiers. Those quotes on there ain't lying to you. It's really is that good. So if you haven't seen it, do check it out, and let me know your thoughts. I always love to hear from people who've seen Dog Soldiers, and let me know if you enjoyed it, if you do watch it. But Sota Toys released this figure. I can't be sure exactly what scale it is. I mean, I reckon that's in scale with a NECA figure, your average kind of human NECA figure. That seems about right, because they are obviously bigger than humans in the movie. Great design though. The reason I'm leaving this guy boxed is I've actually owned 2 of these in the past. This version, the brown one, and the Tower Records exclusive grey version with some blood on it. But both of them, because I took them out of the box, and over the years, because they're quite top heavy, they start to, you don't notice it at first, but they start to lean forward, and then this joint here breaks. It's a damn shame. I tried to fix it, one of them with glue once, but it just didn't work out. It just kept getting worse. So I love the design of the werewolf. I love this figure. So I had to get another one just in time. I mean, I had to pay £60 for this. and now they're even more than that. They keep going up, but they get a great diorama behind them. That's part of the floor base. It's all one bit. You can detach all of this. I found out once I broke mine and just started to see what did what. You can actually remove them from this. I don't know if you're supposed to, because it was not easy, and I don't think you'd get back on there again. So I wouldn't mess with that. But you get all the blood and guts on the base there. And you can see you even get bullets. See all the bullets? This figure is amazing. Bullet holes in the walls. Little window there that's been boarded up. You see the film? That makes sense. Just in such a small diorama. Not that it's small, but it's only just a bit of the floor, and then behind him it tells a story. And true to the film as well. Great job on the sculpts. Look at those teeth. Is that on his actual head? What's that? It looks like honey. See, that's the frustrating thing, because if I could get him out of there, I could fix that in 2 seconds. But because he's staying sealed up, he's got honeydew on his head. And there is the spare head sculpt. That is a closed mouth version with the teeth snarling. Really cool. Severed arm. Pretty gory. I used to use that with my It figure before I got the version that came with the actual severed arm. So yeah, man. What else to say? It's a great movie, favorite horror movie, and I love this figure. It means a lot to me. Glad to have one all sealed up and fresh. But there it is, number 10. The Dog Soldiers werewolf figure from Sota Toys, which apparently Sota Toys aren't around anymore. It's a damn shame, because they were making some good stuff. They did a 18-inch pumpkin head. Look at the Thing figure with the whole diorama there. The creature thing from Legend, I forget. There's the werewolf we just looked at, and there's the grey version up there, the bloody version, and the thingy from Dune. And yeah. So this was Series 3. I forget what they did for Series 2 and 1, but I bet it was good. They've done some great stuff. Anyway, damn shame. But there it is. Sealed. Fresh. Covered in honeydew. At number 9, we have my kit bashed Harley Quinn, which is put together from different official Hot Toys parts in order to achieve a look that really suits the character, especially the leggings. And it's a look that proved quite popular with YouTubers. At least 2 of you out there went as far as to replicate this look. You gave credit where it was due, so God bless you, have fun. She turned out great, proud of you. Now here she is in all her awesome glory, and you can swap any Harley Quinn head and whichever one you're feeling the most at the time. This one really works well with this look, but then I found out this one looks really good on the body too. So this one never really been one of my favorite head sculpts. I am glad to get it, and shout out to Craig Gant on Facebook, who I bought this head off and bought the body and the feet, and I think that's it. But basically she's comprised of the following parts. In case you want to put together this look, you would need to decide which head sculpt you want to use, then get the prison version body. That bikini top came with a Firesin body a long time ago. That just came with a Firesin body, so I just got lucky there. These leggings are from the Purple Coat Joker, the Jared Leto figure from Hot Toys, from Suicide Squad. The feet came with the prison version body of Harley. The jacket came with the first release Harley Quinn by Hot Toys. The hands the same, the bracelet's the same, and the big hammer mallet thing the same as that too. So that's what you need. Let's swap the heads around quickly and give you a quick look at how that looks. Alright, that's how she looks with that head sculpt. Definitely not the one I'll be using. That's how it looks. And there she is with the head sculpt that I originally used, and will very likely use again in the very near future. I'm not sure if I'll stick with this right now, or whether I'll go back to how she looked when I first started this section with the long rooted hair. But it is fantastic. Let me just give you a close-up look at this. Definitely one of Hot Toys' very best head sculpts. I'd say top 10 for sure. The likeness is absolutely dead on. That tongue does not come with it though. That's from Andy Hibbs on Facebook. Little custom accessory you can just pop in her mouth, and just changes things completely. I suppose I could go ahead and take it out and remind you what she looks like without it. It looks like she's chewing gum. Whoops, there it is. It's stuck in with like blue tack, but it's, oh my god, it looks like it's literally a severed tongue. That is disgusting. Anyway, so that's how she looks without the tongue, which is really cool. And yeah, man, let me just turn down the brightness. Give you a look at her schnitzes. There we go.
Very realistic, great leggings, good tone. She goes to the gym, does her squats, all that good stuff. It really does look like she's just chewing bubblegum now. That's actually worked out pretty sweet. But anyway, you just go ahead and you pop that back in there. Oh, I'm trying to do it by looking through the camera instead of actually looking at what I'm doing. Go on. Yeah. Make sure you get it in straight. I suppose you could do it slightly going off to the side like that. Yeah. Anyway, number 9. All right, at number 8 we have probably quite a big surprise for many of you because you don't really see it very often in my collection room because it just doesn't really blend in with anything. And that's ironic because he's all about blending in. This is the Kit Bashed with Hot Toys parts, whatever the hell body I used, I can't remember, a long time ago. And the camo suit, which I found from a store on the internet, and again, long time ago. Years have gone by since I've thought about that, but I got good news for you. I did videos when I first put this together, and I'm pretty sure I remembered better then. So you dig deep on the channel, you'll find the original videos on this piece, and you can find out, hopefully, if I told you. I'm pretty sure I would have told you most of it. Yeah, the recipe in order to cook up this absolutely essential piece. I love Metal Gear Solid, and I really love Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and this is Snake from that game. I've used the head sculpt that came with the only official Hot Toys Metal Gear Solid figure that was released. Well, Snake anyway. They also did the big boss. I think that's what I used the base from, actually. I got a spare one of those. But it's almost 100% to the Part 3 Snake. The only thing that was missing before was that knife, and I eventually got that off the original Hot Toys piece. But other than the gloves, the head sculpt, his harness with the knife, and the other knife down here, the boots, I believe they're different boots. I had to find ones that were like the ones from the game, so I managed to do that eventually. But he is in at number 8. He's got to be in my top 10. I loved this game. It was truly epic. Snake, when he was, voiced by David Hayter, was one of the coolest characters in entertainment, let alone games. And I just absolutely love it. Let me give you a close-up of this absolutely awesome piece. So getting up close and personal, you can see just how good the Hot Toys sculpt is. Absolutely fantastic. Just let the light catch that eye. The facial hair, the hair on his head sculpted very well. The movable tails of the bandana here, they move like the arms on a clock. They don't go forwards and backwards, but they do go around. So depending on which way you want the wind to be blowing, maybe that can help you with your poses as well. Just makes it look a bit more like he's actually moving in a direction. Speaking of which, check out the older videos where I did pose sessions with this guy, doing all the game poses I could, get out of this body at least. But yeah, glad I got the the game accurate knife on there, and pretty much game accurate boots. There's his gun with the silencer, and yeah, man, just crazy detail on this thing. You got the pouches. There's actually stuff in all of these. You got his water pouch there, or water canister. These are full of his accessories that came with him. I couldn't remember right now what they are, but I think one's a ration box and some other stuff. Got his little radio wire, goes into his suit and up into his ear here. So yeah, man, and this knife comes out. Everything is absolutely checked. All the boxes are ticked with this guy, man. He is a beast. Not the beast, but he is a beast. There's only one beast, but that's another story. So there he is at number 8, a figure I absolutely love. Took me a long time to put this together, and it was not easy, and I understand people's frustration. I do get, well, not so much these days, but back when I first made it, I got quite a few messages from frustrated people trying to track down this exact camo suit. I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones he wears in the game. You can have all kinds of variations. This is just the coloration that I wanted. Reminds me of the British Army camo, although this had a very specific name, and I double checked everything, and that is actually one of the suits that he wore, or as an option he could wear in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So because this guy is so awesome, it kind of made me hold off on getting some of the figures that have been released from Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. There's quite a few of those have been released now. I am going to get quiet, but I did let the other actual Snake figures kind of pass me by, just because short on space. I've already kind of nailed or conquered the whole perfect Snake figure as far as I'm concerned. This look is the look I would want the most out of any look for Snake. Although I do really love the look he had in the PS. Oh, what was it now? Metal Gear Solid, the original Metal Gear Solid, not the original, with like the 8-bit graphics or whatever, but the first one where Shadow Moses and all that stuff, where he sneaks in like submarine, blasts out, goes underwater in like this cool little torpedo thing, and I'd never played anything like it in my life. First game that really, really was like playing a movie, and a really, really badass movie. But anyway, a few years later, I got to play Snake Eater, surviving in the jungle like Rambo, and all these other cool influences that were pretty evident. Anyway, I'm rambling. I love this piece, and I'm glad to put it in the top 10 at number 8. At number 7, we have the 1/1 scale Sideshow Collectibles Terminator 2 Endo Skull T800. The eyes light up. It's apparently made from the molds from the original T2, Terminator. So it's as accurate as it gets. There's many different Endo Skulls out there, but so I can see with my own eyes, and so I've been told, and so I've read, this is the one. This is not the clean version. This was a battle damage version, but if you go back on the channel, I think that I made a video about how to remove that, but I learnt that from Robot Online on YouTube. God, I don't think he's doing videos anymore, or at least I don't think he is, but he was such a good guy, great collector, really good taste, awesome collection, and very inspiring, and certainly helped me to get the dirt and grime off this guy and get it looking more of a fresh off the assembly line T800. I really should have given this a more thorough clean before filming, but I did give it a little wipe down, and that is proper like chrome plating on this thing. No matter how hot it is, this thing is always cold to the touch. It's cold and it's really heavy. It feels like the real deal, and it looks like the real deal. It's just amazing. Let me give you a little bit of a close-up here as it comes around. Just check out the detail. Yep, have to have this in the top 10. Just has to be done. But yeah, I finally got it. I saw it in Forbidden Planet many years ago, and I didn't think I'd ever be able to afford it, because I believed that the price Forbidden Planet had this priced at was the price that everyone would have it priced at. But then I found out through experience, and a couple of years later, that Forbidden Planet in London tend to overprice things. But then again, sometimes you see some pretty sweet deals. I remember Hot Toys General Zod from Man of Steel was £100 straight up. Should have bought the damn thing, but I didn't. Damn fool. But anyway. So, there's a little close-up for you. T2 nameplate. His teeth. You don't want the teeth to be too white, so they're a nice kind of off-white, kind of a bit of a yellow, bony kind of tone to them. You turn off the eyes at the back, and you get the movie-accurate cooldown before they actually shut off, which is absolutely badass. So, that's what I've gone with for number 7. The Sideshow Collectibles 1/1 scale Terminator 2 T800 Endo Skull Bust. Absolutely awesome. At number 6, we have the life-size 1978 Michael Myers figure. He's big, he's scary, and he's about as movie accurate as you're going to want it to be. That right there is a Nag mask, the Nightmare. There's different versions that he's done, but that's what this one is called, the 1978 Nightmare mask. And the coveralls are Big Mac coveralls, and they're the real deal, man. These are the Big Macs. And absolutely awesome thing. Many comments from people saying they wouldn't want to be in the same room as this, and well, that just confirms this thing's presence even on film. It is scary to look at, but believe me, standing here alone in this room with it, especially when I walk around it like this, mentioned that before when I did a video on this thing, there's something about when you're walking around it, you just think any minute now he's going to just reach up and grab me. But I weathered the hands a little while back and did some dirt and grime in his fingernails and stuff like that, so the hands are a lot better now. But it's just terrifying. And the hair is incredible. This mask is one of the very best ones you can get. There's loads of really good, expensive, custom-made, movie-accurate 78 masks. I mean, there's so many different,
scenes in that film where the mask looks slightly different, and it's a tricky thing to nail. I do believe this piece achieves that, and it obviously had to be in my top 10. And that means that I had to choose between my Trick or Treat Studios rehauled by Mike in Germany 2018 mask, the bust that I'm putting together. Still not finished yet, but I did consider putting that in the top 10, but then I thought, well, I don't want it to turn into a Myers fest, so try to be fair and keep the variety in the top 10 so that it's not just a bunch of Batman and a bunch of Myers with a sprinkling of Harley Quinn here and there or whatever. But there it is. Let me turn up the light a little bit. Alright, so I brought the lights up a little bit just so you can see a bit more of the detail. Great colour with the coveralls. They really do change depending on, now they're changing colour again. It's like 1 minute it's that kind of weird greyish green, then they go navy blue again and charcoal kind of grey, and they just change all the time. See? Chameleons. But yeah, man, the mannequin was just a mannequin that I got on Amazon. It was just a regular mannequin. I'd love to get one with an arm that's kind of raised up so I can get to hold the knife. Look at these things, man. Movie accurate. Hella movie accurate. I'll give you a close-up look at the Big Mac details. Got the double stitching. Buttons. Gold zip. A little bit here. I mean, to the average person this kind of stuff's boring, but to the Halloween enthusiasts, they want the movie accurate stuff. I'm all about that movie accuracy. Anyway, there it is. Plenty of videos already on the channel with this guy, so check them out. Number 6, my life-size Halloween by John Carpenter, 1978 classic, The Shape. At number 5, we have something I like to call the perfect combo Wonder Woman. This is absolutely stunning. Had to be in the top 10 because when I stumbled upon this look, I knew I found something really special. And it's just amazing. If you like the way this looks, definitely check out the outdoor video photography and footage in the garden. I think it was like summertime, but the sun was shining, I know that much, and with all the greenery around her, she just looks so real. It looked like all the kind of greenery around her was like in scale, so she looks like a real person outdoors. It's just that realistic of a figure. It's really, really cool. But the black hooded cloak is from Unreal Customs. I reviewed that on the channel, and stunning piece. Absolutely had to put it in there. Let me give you a closer look at the head sculpt. As you can see, that training version head sculpt is just incredible. The likeness to Gal Gadot is spot on. And the you can take away the Barbie tiara if you don't want to rock it that way, if you think that sort of cheapens the look a little bit. I personally really like it, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on. Oh, get on there. Careful not to be too rough. Don't want to scratch the zip paint. There we go. So the black, ultra black velvety goodness of the Unreal Customs cloak really contrasts with the bright and vibrant armor underneath, and without the cloak the armor would look vibrant enough, but contrasting against this jet black velvety kind of texture, it just brings it out even more. So it really is something to see in person. I mean, it looks great on camera, I can see that, but in person it is very impressive. I love that base as well. Really helps to have a nice base and a great surface, not something that's going to get scratch marks on it. It's kind of a rough kind of surface, so that will always look like that as long as you take care of it. And this particular Wonder Woman version, at least the body, is the palest version of Wonder Woman Hot Toys have released. They have got slightly different skin tones, all of them, but this particular comic concept body and armor, but the body is paler than the others. But you can see a slight difference in skin tone between the head from the training version and this comic concept body, but it's not really that noticeable, to be honest. It's quite subtle, and people tend to have a little bit more color in their face anyway than they do in their neck and their chest. Well, I could be wrong about that, but it's just the way it feels. But she is incredible. Now, I literally only spent about 3 seconds messing with that hood. Get it to look a lot better than that.
just to give you a little look at how she looks completely hooded up to the max. There she is, at number 5, the perfect combo Wonder Woman. Had to do it. Stick her in the top 10, right in the middle. She's a keeper. At number 4, we have the Cool Models 1/6 scale werewolf figure. And you know I love my werewolves, so when I saw that this was being made, when those prototype pictures first released, I was very excited because this is, not so much the clothing that he's wearing. I've always meant to customize that and maybe change it completely. Always kind of like the idea of him wearing a leather biker jacket like the one Arnie wore in T2, but obviously ripped because he's transformed and some blood effects and stuff like that. I just never really been sure if I should, because I don't know how readily available this is. I don't know how many were made. I wouldn't imagine that many. Cool Models I've got little experience with, but they certainly seem to make great stuff. But this can actually transform technically into a human form as well. He came with a lot of stuff. Check out the review on the channel. Check out the unboxing, because that's particularly good. That was a lot of fun to do. So check out all the original videos on this one. But he had to be in my top 10. My favorite kind of werewolf is one that looks very much like this. I love the design from the movie Bad Moon, and this was quite close to that. So we'll see if I one day build up the courage to do a bit of work on this. I would actually kind of like to change his fur to more of a, not jet black, but certainly more black than this kind of grey colour. And maybe turn the eyes into just completely white eyes. The idea of a werewolf with just kind of black fur but white eyeballs, just no detail there, so you're never really sure if it's actually looking at you or not. I just think that's really creepy. Whether I'm going to do that to this figure that I have, I don't know. Maybe it certainly would be a nice project I could really sink my teeth into, no pun intended, but it's a fantastic piece. I'll give you a close-up of the wolf head. Yep, so there it is. Great detail on it, great sculpt, and a really great paint job. The hair, fur, whatever you want to call it, is done very well. Big claws. Really good posability in this guy. I wanted it to look like he was legging it through the forest coming right after you. Like something out of your nightmares. So, there you go. Now remember at the beginning of the video when I showed you that dog soldier's figure down there? That is the little piece of fur that's around the dog soldier's figure's neck. So, it's actually, where is it? There we go. That's the piece right there. So his actual stock sort of fur ends about here, and then you can see exposed plastic body, like skin tone, but it doesn't look like human skin. It's very shiny, like a cheap kind of body look. So it's really not very, it's pretty unsightly. His shirt won't do up over it, so you had to figure out something else. But luckily I used that kind of mane from the dog soldier's figure, and it blended in perfectly. I didn't really even need to paint it or anything. So it worked out pretty good. There he is. I'm using a Hot Toys dynamic stand that does not come with him. So if you want to pull off cool stuff like that, you'll need to get yourself a separate stand. But it is definitely worth doing. The werewolf at number 4. In at number 3, he's been popping up in a few of my videos recently, but he's back, and it's the Hot Toys 1/4 scale Dark Knight Rises Batman figure. It's not even my favorite suit from the trilogy. As you know, I'm more of a Begins guy. But this cape by Unreal Customs just took it to another level, and he's got a presence, man. This thing is very realistic looking. The likeness to Christian Bale is just dead on. I mean, look at that thing. The light hitting the eyes just lights him up and makes him look super real. You bring down that brightness, a touch. I mean, it's just a great figure to take pictures of outdoors. I'd love to find a rooftop somewhere where it looked a little bit like Gotham at night and just set up some lights and take some pictures of this thing, because it would not be hard to make it look real. I mean, I've already done that in showcase videos with movie backgrounds and stuff behind them, and used the lighting to try and make it look as real as possible, but you really don't have to work that hard to make this thing look real. A lot of R&D must have gone into putting the suit together. Incredible. Just the layers of material, the different materials used. I mean, it's like a shrunk down real thing, man. I mean, obviously the real suit probably wasn't actual Kevlar and real mesh. I don't know, probably, but the illusion of what it was very convincing, and the illusion of what Hot Toys have pulled off here is just equally as convincing. I mean, it looks like the movie suit. I saw the daylight shots when they were shooting the scenes on the steps when he was fighting Bane in the daylight, surrounded by the crowds, and we got a really good look at that suit. And I mean, Hot Toys killed it with this one, man. Like I said, that's a custom cape by Unreal Customs, and just took it to another level. But I had to include him in the top 10 of everything. I mean, like I said, I love the Begin suit much more than this one, but there's no denying this is incredible, and I wouldn't want to be without it. You know, I like to think more of this as the Dark Knight representation. I know it's from the Dark Knight Rises, but I much prefer the Dark Knight over the Dark Knight Rises any day of the week. So I like to think of him, even though he's holding the Bane mask. So I'm kind of contradicting myself there, but it's not. It's kind of subtle, but it does say Dark Knight Rises. But you do get obviously a Bruce Wayne head and another head sculpt with the Batman cowl with the light up eyes and the backpack from the Hong Kong scene, or the parachute holder, or the cape holder, whatever you want to call it. But there he is, and my light looks like it's about to fall. Proper guerrilla style here, people. Just trying to make it work. All right, there he is at number 3. The number 2 spot goes to my custom Catwoman figures. Now they are, a combination of custom work, kit bashing, and various sources I had to go to achieve certain things. Like for instance, that outfit there, the more leathery one, is by Gwyneth on Facebook, and that was totally influenced by the Adam Hughes comic cover artwork that you can see all above my top shelf there. That's all Adam Hughes Catwoman stuff. And I really wanted that outfit, and Gwyneth made it for me, and it's just unique and awesome. She did such a good job. Perfect material. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That head sculpt that you're seeing on that one there, that's the sideshow head, but I totally reworked that. I'll give you a better look. I'm just getting a bit closer. Focus up. There you go. So yeah, moving in a little bit, you can see that I actually made it look like the hair was sticking out underneath the top of her mask, just above her eyebrows there. That was a look that I wanted to get from the Arkham City version of Catwoman, which is the version that, really got me interested in the character, because they just made her so cool, so badass. It was a great experience playing as Catwoman in Arkham City. Much different than playing as Batman. She was really brutal, and just a lot of fun. Michael Myers lurking in the background there looks really creepy. But yeah, and then this head sculpt reworked by the Laboratory Effects on Facebook. Look how green the eyes are. They did that, and the eye makeup and the eyebrows, lips, the whole face been repainted with freckles, crazy detail. It's been covered on the channel much better than I'm showing you now, in much better lighting. So do check out the other videos. There are plenty of these figures on the channel. This one over here is using the Sideshow Collectibles outfit and belt, harness, whip, but with Vampirella boots. That's the Fire Sin Vampirella, Evil One. There's 2 versions, but those are the boots I'm using with this, and 2 Fire Sin bodies, rather than the Sideshow Collectibles bodies, which were absolutely fragile and terrible. But yeah, both heads were originally Sideshow, but I, just either had it sent off to an artist to repaint it, or I repainted it myself. There's another one here that I did myself. Don't know if the camera going to focus on it for me, but this one's more of a battle damage look. She's got blood dripping from the corner of her mouth, a scratch on her cheek, eye makeup, like she's been kind of crying maybe, or just the sweat and it's messy looking basically. That's what I wanted to go for here, but I did this one myself. Turned out pretty good. You can't really see the eyes, but yeah, they are, I think they're blue eyes on this one. And then the one that the Laboratory Effects repainted for me, you can see they're very much bright green eyes. And again, they totally redid the eyes, the eye makeup, the lips, the skin, the cheek, the blusher, eyebrows. The whole head was repainted. So it's nice to have options. And let me just turn her around so you can see how great a job Gwyneth did making this outfit. Look at the realistic lines and wrinkles, and I don't mean to be crude, it's all tight around the butt section and all tight around the thighs, no bagginess. Look at the great little wrinkles in there. This is really accurate to the Adam Hughes Catwoman artwork, and Gwyneth really did a good job. Just check out the original video when I first got this outfit and when I put it all together and I first reviewed everything. You'll get a much better look at this. But there they are at number 2. Absolutely had to be high up in the top 10. I love my Catwoman figures and couldn't be without these. Really, really proud of these ones. Alright, there they are. At number 1, we have the friggin' Boogeyman. The original Michael Myers from 1978 in a quarter scale, custom as it gets figure. There are not many of these in the world. There straight up isn't. It's amazing. I love it. You know, I did exclude the Batman Begins figure up there because that is always my number 1 grail piece. I just love that figure so much. So I had to take him out of this top 10 because it just wasn't, there's no point, because everyone knows I love that figure up there and they know that, you know, it's going to be number 1. So if I took that out of the equation, maybe a little bit more interesting for you to watch. And some of you out there would have predicted that this would be the new number 1, you know, in this particular video, but I just love it. Look at that. Look at the eyes inside. That's I don't even want to say who made what, because you're going to have to go ahead and check out the old videos to find that out. I'm just showing you what's number 1 in this particular video. This has been covered on the channel. I'll tell you all about it. Even it's silly business, man. It's ridiculous. I love it. Number 1. Forget about it. The original Halloween movie. Look how good that looks. Look how good that looks. Study it. Pause it. Pause it. Pause it. Now just look at that. Oh my goodness. That is as good as it gets. It's absolutely despicably good. Offensively good. I dare you to look away. Look at this thing. It's gonna last a long time, and I'll be gone. I'll be long gone. And this thing will still be standing, looking sick. Oh man. Look at that. I don't even want to end of the video. Forget about it. It's over. It's over. It's fully posable too. I mean, it's got the whole double bend elbow, the whole deal. I mean, you can hold the knife right up. You can tilt the head backwards, forwards. Let's lift his head up like that. Creepy as hell, man. Number 1. The big 78. That's what I call it. It's absolutely stupid. Ah, oh, Christ. Look at the eye. Look at that. He's still looking at us. Even though he's looking right up. The eyes follow you, man. This thing is ridiculous. It's even better than the life-size one. Really. I mean, I made the boots myself, but forget about that. Had to be done. Look at that. I gotta go. Well, I'm all done filming. Myers is back on the shelf, and it's now daytime. The birds are chirping, and I am really tired. I've been filming for a long time and recharging the phone and freeing up space, transferring files, and coming back in here and trying to finish off the top 10. I was going to leave it till later on, but I thought at least if I get all the filming done, I can edit it later and I'll get some sleep. Anyway, you don't need to know this. I'm tired. That's probably why I was so funky when I was trying to talk about this thing, because I think I'm overtired now. You know how it is, you get a little bit crazy, but I love that piece, man. That is amazing. So on a serious note, I had to leave out some really good figures out of this top 10 you just watched. How could you leave out the DX11 Heath Ledger Joker, or how could you leave out a Keaton Batman, or this Ninja Batman? Shout out to Alex McPhee. That is one hell of a gift, man. I absolutely love that figure. Favorite Batman movie. You know, how could you leave out the Nightmare Batman? It can go on and on and on and on. Had to leave that out. Are you kidding me? So what I need to do is a top 10 DC collectibles video, which I want to do that soon. That's going to include you know, figures, statues, but anything DC Comics. So that top 10 will be coming up, and hopefully that will make me feel better, because then I can possibly, not 100%, but we'll see, possibly include the DX11. Of course I'm going to include the DX11, be silly. But yeah, I had to leave out some really beloved figures here. I mean, BVS Batman wasn't in that top 10 you just watched. Crazy, I know, crazy. So hopefully the DC top 10 will rectify some of that stuff and make myself and some of you feel better
after what you just endured. Also going to do a top 10 Myers collection as well. Well, you know, things could be the official NECA figures, custom figures like that, or you know, busts, whatever. So I'll do a top 10 Myers in the very near future as well, because I'd love to do that. I'm curious to see how that works out myself, to be honest. I'm always curious to, when I get the idea to do a top 10, I don't know what it is going to be yet. I don't know until I start filming the intro, and then I put the camera down and think, okay, well now I have to actually figure out what the top 10 is. I don't know, maybe you know, you get a sense of which one's going to be quite high up or which one's going to be, you know, number one. But yeah, I really rarely know what the case is going to be until I actually start getting down to it. But it's been fun. I'm enjoying doing the top 10s. It's just something to kill some time and get some content on the channel while we're waiting for things to be released. It's been really quiet from Hot Toys lately. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like the video if you can, share it if you can, leave me some comments, leave me your thoughts. Always like to hear from you. Thanks for all your support, and yeah, don't forget to check me out on Instagram. Don't miss those pictures. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.